Okay, good afternoon, penny stock billionaires. Today is October 19th. We got the closing bell chart action here. Another exciting day in the markets. We got VSB on fire right now. But first, I want to talk about the Tesla. Tesla is one of the bellwethers, one of the kind of the bellwethers we look at for speculative stocks. And again, this is something which we've been talking about for almost really about a year. It was around in the 400 range last November. So hey, this is going to go to 1,000 plus. Right now, I believe we're going to see $1,800, $2,000 on Tesla. Again, I'm not a fan of Tesla. I don't care about Tesla. I don't know anything about their business. I hate their cars. But this chart is, the charts don't lie. And, we're going to see kind of like a, cup and handle type of thing happening over here. And we might see a little bit of a drop here into like the 830, 2820, maybe like 835 range. And this is going to break out probably within a week. We're going to see this thing above 900, closing in on 1,000. Once Tesla breaks out of 1,000, it's going to be extremely bullish for all speculative assets, whether it's penny stocks, Bitcoin, etc. So you can basically get a choice here. You can either, get into Tesla here, double your money, right? You can double your money in Tesla, or you can get into a stock like VSB, which is actually from here is probably a triple from here. And of course, OG could be a 10 bagger or even a 100 bagger from here. So let's take a look at VSB right now. Oh my God, I can't believe we're at $1.80. Look, to be honest, I'm not here to hype the stock. This is not what this is about. And at this point, I don't think it really needs me to talk this thing up. But by the way, does this chart look familiar to you? Does this look familiar? It's pretty much right up until September 10th. This kind of looked a little bit like the Tesla chart, right? Well, this is kind of what happens when these things break out. By the way, does this look familiar? Well, it also looks like PKK before it broke out of that $3 range. $6 post split, went to 15, 14 and a half, whatever. So I think we're going to see kind of the same thing happening here. I think VSB though has a lot of legs. I'll tell you, first of all, I would actually love to see some selling come in here. I'd love the stock to drop off to maybe $1.70, maybe $1.50 even. I'd love to see some people shaking out of this. Realistically though, I think we're probably going to consolidate here kind of the $1.70, $1.95 range. I don't think it's going to get above $2 for at least another, until at least till next week, maybe another week, because this is a pretty healthy run. It does need to consolidate a little bit. However, I do have to say, this chart is really just a classic textbook example of a major, just, I don't want to say parabolic. It is kind of parabolic, but what you're not seeing is you're not seeing these gaps. You're not seeing any kind of gaps. And you're seeing, like, if you notice the last 3 trading days, you're seeing full trading ranges. The stock goes up, you open, high, low, close. Like, let me see if I can show you on the candlestick maybe. Yeah, so, it trades throughout the whole day. It's not just like one crazy gap. So the thing is actually, it is very, very powerful, extremely powerful uptrend, but it's under control. It really is under control. However, I should say I would like to see it cool off a little bit, consolidate a little bit. It could be wishful thinking. Again, I'm projecting my personal opinions onto it, which nobody cares. But okay, what you can see is, again, this is the thing I've been talking about, is this thing, you see a kind of a breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, consolidation. And what you're seeing today, very similar to the pattern I talked about yesterday, which is you kind of have this rising um, kind of consolidation. So it's really, I mean, it's like super, super bullish. Um, but I would absolutely, I mean, I'm almost willing to bet we're going to kind of consolidate here between $1.95 and $1.70. You know, shake some people out, let it cool off a little bit. And then it could, next week it could explode. I mean, we could see 250 next week. Again, it's a stock we introduced at 15 cents last year, literally 12 months ago. It is up over 1,300%. I think ultimately, though, we could see $5 on the stock. I know it sounds crazy. I know people saying, oh, no, it's impossible. Well, listen, nobody believed the stock when it was 15 cents. Nobody believed it when it was 40 cents. Nobody believed it when it was 50 cents. Actually, well, Sean Black believed it when it was 50 cents right here. I think this is when he started talking about it. So definitely we're seeing the Sean Black effect in the last month. Absolutely. Yeah, so this thing is extremely powerful. And at the rate it's going, look, I mean, the fundamentals of the story just keep expanding. I mean, I think we're seeing just the tip of the iceberg with this thing. So this thing has got a lot of legs, a lot of torque. $5 might take a few months to get to $5. I think we'll see 250 next week. How many shares did he buy? I don't know how many shares. He says he bought a material. What is it? Material. This is the word material amount. I don't know what that means. Yeah, listen, nobody believed, listen, PKK is a stock we introduced at 35 cents again a year ago, 70 cents post split, but nobody believed when, the stock was in that $3 range, $6 post split for 6 months. And I was saying, hey, it's going to break out. It's going to break out. Nobody believed it. Nobody believed the stock at $1. And sure enough, it hit 14 bucks. However, I think unlike Peak, I think VSB right here has a lot of legs to go. It's still early stages. Shockingly, it really is. Lisa, I'm expecting Lisa RHT will be back next week. So let's talk about RHT in just a second. I want to jump into another one of our big momentum stocks right now, which is OG, a stock that I guess technically we introduced it on Sunday. Sunday I had that live stream. Check out that video with the CEO, with Matt. It's on the Wall Street Reporter channel, Wall Street Reporter 1843. It's amazing. I don't want to, I sometimes exaggerate a little bit, but this thing is no exaggeration. When you see this store, it's like the future of retail. This is next generation. And I'll tell you, the reason why this stock is not $2 right now or $3 is simply because I think there is a real misperception in the market. Because either people think, oh, it's just a grocery store, an organic grocery store. Oh, it's just a store. Well, no, it's the early stages of a massive chain. Okay, it's going to be like, we're talking about something which is going to be potentially bigger than Whole Foods. The only thing really, I think at this point, because they get the model dialed in. When you see this, you'll understand it. The model is dialed in, and that's the hardest part for business, to get that retail model dialed in. I'm looking forward to the live stream on Thursday. And again, I don't think I've been as enthusiastic about a stock in, I don't know, I don't remember, maybe ever. It's very possible. I'm extremely enthusiastic about OG because I think it could be a 100 bagger. Again, of course, I could be wrong. Go to zero. Actually, let me run this disclaimer real quick here, just to make sure that nothing here is a recommendation, etc. You can read all this below. So there's two misperceptions about organic garage, OGGFF, over the counter for the Americans, and it is this. You got some people who think, oh, it's just a retail grocery store. Oh, they got 4 stores. Oh, okay, that's it. They're never going to expand. The other people think, oh, it's a play on vegan foods. They're doing this vegan butter, vegan cheese, etc. Well, the vegan brand business is a small part of their business. It could be a huge part. Right now, it's in the I'm not even that the vegan stuff, the brands. It doesn't even figure into my investment thesis. Here is my investment thesis. I will lay out for you, and it's very simple. Here is what it is. They got 4 stores right now. And again, it's a relatively new company. It took them a couple of years to get the model dialed in. And again, retail is a hard business. Organic foods, it's a difficult business. There's moats around it. It's not easy to get into the business. It's not like some tech stocks, not some whatever. It's a difficult business, which makes it valuable. Tremendous brand name, Organic Garage, one of the great names out there. It's a name that can travel globally. It could Canada, this thing that they're in Toronto. The problem is that these guys are in Toronto. If they would have started in California, started in Austin, Texas, with these 4 stores, it would have been a $1 billion valuation already. The problem is the Canadians do not understand like genius when it's in front of them. That's why you see, all the great talent, goes to the U.S. I mean, we're talking about from what's the guy? Even the Saturday Night Live guy. What's his name? Lorne Michael, right? I mean, all the great comedians. They never made it in Canada. Only when they come to the U.S. did they make it big. Case in point, this guy Russell Peters. I know I only heard of him because I think he's with Trip. I never heard of this guy before. It's probably he may not be talented because in Canada he's big. In the U.S. nobody really knows who he is. So. No offense to Russell P. I don't, he's not like, big in the U.S. It's a fact. Who's the guy? Norm Macdonald, great comedian, another Canadian, great comedian. So bottom line is that Canada does not understand talent when it's in front of them. And this store, it's too real, it's too accessible. You guys in Canada will not understand what this is until probably the stock is already $10 and it's already in the US and it's going to $40, et cetera. So here's my investment thesis. They got 4 stores. They're doing 25 million roughly ballpark run rate. They're going to go to probably, I think they could probably get this up to, let's call it 20 stores in 20 months, 18 months. Again, the market is forward looking, so you're going to see the values start, going up. When you get 20 stores and they're doing, let's say, the same type of numbers, let's say they're doing 200 million revenues with the 20 stores. They got the vegan business kicking in some money. That business, again, it's not a tech stock. It's not going to get a 10 times multiple. It's not going to get a 20 times multiple. It'll probably be worth 4 to 5x. So roughly $1 billion valuation, 4 to 5 times revenues. Why? Because they got good margins, powerful brand, massive room for expansion, early stages of expansion. Again, they can go from 20 stores to 200 stores in probably a couple of years. And again, the market is forward looking. I mean, I talked about the power of the retail brand scale rollout concept. So you got $1 billion valuation, right? And by the way, it doesn't take a lot of money to open these stores. We talked about it on the interview. There's not going to be dilution. I don't think you're going to see you might see they got to 60 million shares. Let's say in theory they get to 100 million shares, possibly in 2 years. So, $1 billion divided by 100 million is $10 a share. You're talking about $10 a share. By the way, so we're saying 18 months. I think it's going to happen faster. The other misperception is people think, this thing. I think they filed a prospectus. They filed a prospectus about a couple of weeks ago. So people thought, they're going to raise money here. Yeah, I know in Canada everybody's paranoid. Oh my God, these guys are going to raise money. There's going to be dilution. Okay, they're not raising money here. Again, they could raise it tomorrow. They might, do an offering 100 billion shares at 5 cents. Very possible. You never know what can happen in the world. But my take on it is I don't see anything happening below 75 cents, probably not $1. Most likely, I don't see anything happening below $1. And again, you can ask Matt. He's going to be on the live stream Thursday. So yeah, they got a couple $1 million in cash. They don't need the money, so they may not even do this offering for 6 months. They may not raise money for 6 months. So this thing, I know it's kind of overhanging this possibility of prospects. It's this paranoia thing, but I don't see that as an issue. And when they do raise money, it's just going to add fuel to this thing. I hate the retail business. I would never want to be in the retail. The beauty of this thing is this. I think people have said the retail is a very difficult business. Yeah, it is. That's why you let this guy do the work for you. You find a guy who's a genius at it. This guy, Matt, is an absolute genius. He understands experiential retail. That store is not retail. It's an experience. It's entertainment. When you go in that store, people are going there for entertainment, okay? That's what it is. I mean, they could be charging double what they charge, but they're selling things at a discount. Jennifer Pitt gets it. There you go. Lifestyle. I think she understands it. VSB 100X. I think it could be a 100-bagger. If you're willing to wait 2-3 years, this could be a $40 stock. I mean, this really has all the ingredients of something which has a lot of legs. Look, one of the problems with technology stocks, I love tech stocks. The problem is, there's always new technologies. There's obsolescence. It's competitive. There's moats. There's a lot of retail. People will always need to eat, and especially if they can buy the food at a discount, quality food, quality selection, and they get entertained at the same time. People they don't want to have food delivered to their house. I mean, they don't want to have the groceries. Maybe some do, but what people want, especially after the whole pandemic thing, they want to go out. They want to be entertained. They want to be around other human beings. They want to be in social settings. Human beings have not changed in, I don't know, millions of years. People don't change. That's the way it is. So let's get back to, there we go. Kitchen Original. Oh, that's their other brand. They haven't even talked about it. That's their other private label brand. Huge. I mean, these guys have a bunch of things in there that are huge, huge, huge. I got a bunch of options on this, so I think I'll do very well. But I tell you what, I think when I exercise, I don't think I'm going to sell. This is one stock I don't see myself selling. I think this is going to be that 100x. It's going to be, I haven't had 100x yet on this with the super stock platform. So this could be the first 100-bagger. I'm looking forward to this. We've had 50 baggers, 20 baggers, 10 baggers. We have not had a 100-bagger yet. So let's go back to VSB. VSB, I think it'll be $5 in a couple months, 6 months. Yeah, easy. Okay. So let me go back. Okay, so we got 10 minutes before the close. Let's cover a couple more stocks. Again, Organic Garage, I explained to you why this is, easily a $10 stock. By the way, what's your downside? Your downside is zero. Why do I say it's zero? Because actually, I should say, the stock could go to zero, but the downside here is like nothing, because the company right now has a 25 million market cap, right? That's basically 1 times revenues. A private equity firm would probably pay double that, maybe even triple that. So worst case, if these guys really screw up, if they don't scale up in the next 6 months, 12 months, you're going to make $1. And basically, the stock is going to be $1 if they fail. In other words, if this company fails, it's going to be $1 stock, because it's worth 3 times revenues, maybe even 4 times revenues, to a private equity firm who's going to, put in, a couple bucks, take the concept Organic Garage, scale it out in the US, scale it out maybe in Europe, etc., and they're going to make a fortune. Listen, it's what happened with I put up a thing, Victoria's Secret, the lingerie thing. They had 4 stores, 5 stores in California back in, I don't know, the early 80s. Leslie Wexner bought them out and, became a multi-billion-dollar brand in a couple of years. And, the rest is history. Same thing. Retail is very, very scalable. Okay, so what else is going on here? We got stuff that's moving. RHT, we're going to have Lisa on next week. Again, this chart pattern, very similar pattern to what we're seeing with VSB before, with with Tesla. I'm looking for 250 on this. It's going to probably break out to $1.25 next week. We're going to see probably new all-time highs next week, and 250 by December. Take a look at the videos we have on Wall Street Reporter 1843 channel, the video interviews, a lot of fascinating detail which explain why exactly, what is the path for Relic to be a 250, a $5 stock very easily. What else is moving? Skylight, by the way, if you're not a member of our Telegram channel, you should definitely subscribe. We'll talk about Skylight, one of our former next super stocks, which is on the move right now. It broke out above the 50-day moving average. Major level of resistance. It broke above that. So I think what we need to really see is for this thing to clear 450, 475, next level of resistance, maybe $5. Once this thing breaks out of $5, it's like going to be, game on. We might, we might see some interesting things happening. So stay tuned, as they say. ESE. So this one is on the launch pad here. The launch is going to happen any minute. Now we're going to have Conrad, the CEO, back next week. I think Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, this is a roll-up story in the esports space. Esports, one of the biggest themes right now. It's going to be huge. Raya is going to be huge. Let me get to Raya in just a second. And let me just pop this banner up here. Yeah, make sure you click the link in the video description to join our Telegram channel. So ESE, I'm waiting for... This thing is on the launch pad. We're just waiting for somebody to push that button, and then it takes off. And this thing could be $4.50 in a flash. Again, last year went from $3.50 to four and change after we introduced it. So I'm expecting huge things. What else we got happening here? Raya. Yeah, so Raya, I think Raya is kind of, we've had a bit of a pullback here. It might drop a little bit here before it bottoms out. So could see 7.5, 8 cents, very possible. There's not enough data on the chart yet. So again, it's only, you see the chart is really, it's kind of hard to read it. So let me look at the 1 hour. So let's see the 1 hour. The 1 hour, yeah, we could see this thing drop to 7.5 cents. It could drop another penny before it gets the mojo back and starts moving. I think ultimately this is going to be a 10 bagger, so $1.50 from the price that it debuted at, or 10 cents I think it came out at. So yeah, so $1.50 on this. We're going to have Greg back on the live stream probably next week also. So Raya, I think, is in good shape. RHT, ESC, we talked about. What else is moving? Okay, VSB, wow. Okay, so $1.73, very strong close. Let's see here. We got, let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Whoa, a bit of a sell-off. By the way, I hope somebody wasn't like listening to this and saying, "Oh shit, this thing is crap." No, this thing is in very good shape. But this could be this might have been the pullback, an aggressive. Wow, this is an aggressive pullback here, $1.70. So this is actually very positive. This is very positive that the stock is not overheating. So nice little bit of a pullback, and it gives it more room to run. So this is actually very, very bullish. Let's catch up to some. Sorry, I just saw your thing right now. Yeah, mini dump. So yeah, I would not. This news, I was not expecting it. I don't think anybody. So I think this is not the main driver here. I think it's going to be a nice pot. I think this could be very big, but this is not. I don't think this is the news that the market is like waiting for that is going to make it explode. So this is a nice piece of news, but you know, it's just another you know, arrow in the quiver for this thing. Yeah. This, yeah, again, RHT could be one of the huge stocks. Huge. I don't know. Well, at 100x, that means $15, right? $15, right? So, you know, you never know. You never know. Anything is possible. I think though $5 is probably. Let's see what happens when it gets to 5. Okay, that's going to be 5. Yes, I do. I actually, from an option exercise, I'm sitting with a bunch of VSB right now, which is technically still restricted, but I am happy with this thing. So yeah, so I got some VSB here, and yeah, I'd be very happy if it goes to $15. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to get to $5. We'll see what happens after that. So GazX. Oh, so this is one of the stocks that we should. This is not really in our super stock. It's more of in our like discovery day platform. So it's kind of a yeah. Look, it's going up. By the way, great looking chart. I think this is going to break out. So technically, we're not really working with. I mean, I think we had like a 3-month deal with them, and we just did an update because they didn't really do enough stuff in the last 3 months. Last time we had them on, so I figured, look, I want to make it up to them, give them some, you know, an update. I like the people there. I think this is like, you know, this is a blue chip AAA team here. You just got to look at the people involved. These are like, you know, superstars here. So yeah, this thing, it looks like it's going to probably easily double. I can see NG going to, you know, $3, $5 easily. And the CEO of NG, he's had 100 baggers before. So this is you know, the guy's a superstar. Let's see what is going on into the close. So yeah, so VSB $1.69. All right. I'm wondering if maybe there's some short selling coming in. I can't imagine anybody would want to short this thing because that would not make any sense here. I actually almost hoping that somebody does short it because there'd be like such an epic squeeze coming in that would drive this thing to like $3. It would be just crazy. I mean, this thing is like, it would be insane. Very, it would be very, very surprising. So yes, I am not concerned about the sell-off. I mean, look, we are due. I mean, we're due for this thing to pull back a little bit. I mean, you know, it's had a nice breakout, but if it does pull back, it would be just a temporary. I don't want to use the word buying opportunity because I hate this. You say buying on the dip and all that stuff, but yeah, that would essentially be a let's see, $1. Yeah, we could see a pullback, even maybe $1.50, possible, very possible, a little bit of a consolidation. But again, the more this thing pulls back, the more it consolidates here, the more it'll rebound higher with more power. So, you know, if it doesn't pull back, we'll get to 225 next week, and it's going to consolidate for probably 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months. If it pulls back here to, let's say, $1.50, then it'll go to like 275 before it consolidates. So either it consolidates here or it's going to consolidate. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, look, ultimately, I think we're going to see minimum 250 on the stock, probably $5 within a couple of months, $5 in the next 3-4 months. So what else is going on? What are those? Oh, Liquid Avatar. It's one of our former super stocks. I wanted to bring that up. This thing is getting some action here. This is a highly speculative stock, but I think we could see this thing move to a quarter. I was talking about the last couple of days, 12 cents. I mean, this thing could really pop. You got some resistance here at 15 cents. Once Liquid Avatar breaks above 15 cents, it's going to run to 40 cents, I believe. So again, it's at least 25, 35 cents. So yeah, watch for the breakout. Watch this breakout above 15 cents. If this thing breaks out 15 cents, you're going to see 25 cents. And then, they're doing some NFT things. They're doing also crazy stuff, which the market apparently likes. So there's a lot of speculative eyeballs on it. Yeah. You know what? It could be, yeah. If you're willing to wait like 3 years, it could be $15. I mean, they could be bought out. Who knows what could happen. Yeah, I'm just looking. I mean, I think $5 is kind of the main target. So let's see what else is going on here. So we're not working with Delic. We haven't worked with Delic in about a month. We're not working with Delic right now. Fans is due. Actually, we gotta have an update from them. Fans again has also kind of been consolidating for the last bunch of months, building a base. It's a pretty strong base at this point. So it's a little bit like ESE. I think both of these stocks, when they break out, which is probably going to happen, could happen any day. I mean, when I say any day, it could happen between now, it could happen 2 weeks from now, but these things are going to explode before the end of the year. I mean, I think both of these stocks, Fans, ESE, both of them are going to be at new highs by December. You got to understand something. The sports betting space, esports, I mean, this is like one of the hottest themes of the markets. So, yeah, crazy. Let's see. Wow, shit. VSB got a bit of a beating here. It's crazy here. $1.55. This I was not expecting. I'll tell you that. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Wow, big profit taking. Yeah, so if it pulls back here, we might see a pullback to, let's call it the moving average, somewhere in here. Let's take a look. Where could it go back? This is a sharp pullback. This is like somebody whacked this thing here. Yeah, this is not something that I was expecting. But if it does pull back, we could see a pullback into this kind of range. Where could it go? Probably, let me pull this up. Hang on, let me go to the 1-day chart. Okay, so if your breakout was 50 cents, $1.75. So if you had like a 33% retracement, which would be healthy from $1.75, that would be $1.40. So $1.50, $1.40. I think that's where you're going to pull back to right here. It's going to pull back to maybe $1.50, $1.40, probably for a week, 10 days maybe. And from there, it's going to go to $2.53. I think that's what's going to happen. It could turn around tomorrow, but yeah. So yeah, very interesting. I am surprised to see that this thing, had this, somebody dumped a bunch of stock at the close here. This is pretty interesting. Let me see the 5-minute chart here. Yeah, wow, crazy. So yeah, technically this chart, you're breaking below the moving 5-day, the 5-minute moving average here. So yeah, we could see a pullback to, worst case, a $1.45, kind of in this range, $1.45. Let's see what happens in the next day or two, because I think it would be very healthy for this stock to shake out some of the kind of latecomers, some of the weak hands over here. This is what happens, and maybe there might be even some shorts. I actually would be surprised if there's real short sellers that would get involved, because it just doesn't make any sense to want to short this thing. But if they did, at a $1.40, there could be a massive short squeeze, and you could see this thing go to north of $2.50, $3. Did Sean sell? I don't think he saw. I think he is holding on for $2.50 to $5. So yeah. Yeah. Very, very surprising, actually. I'm very surprised at this close. Crazy. Let's see here. Yeah. I am 99% certain that Sean would not be selling here. Let me see here. Okay, so yeah, bottom line, VSB, the trend is intact. Yeah, I am surprised that we saw the pullback today. I actually was thinking that we would have been closing at like $1.70 somewhere in that range, consolidating for a couple of days, like I was saying, $1.70 to $1.90, just not letting the stock go above $1.90, then next week breaking above $2. But yeah, I am surprised by this dump. But this is the fun of the markets. There's always something crazy happening, which you do not expect. But based on what's happening right now, I would say then that, yeah, we're going to see a pullback then to around $1.40 minimum, probably maybe even a little bit low, because again, you got to count from roughly 50 cents to $1.80, so that's $1.30. So 45 cents from so yeah, $1.35, $1.45 is kind of where this thing would pull back, and maybe even a little bit lower, maybe even $1.25. That would really freak people out. But if it goes to $1.25, that'll be extremely powerful. It goes to $1.25 and consolidates for 10 days. It's then again, the more the stock pulls back and consolidates, the more powerful the rebound is going to be. Again, the more this thing comes back, the more it's going to be. It's like physics. It's going to be a very, very powerful rebound. I mean, we've seen this type of thing happen with all these other stocks. Oh, look at this. Super chat, $9.99. Skippy. All right, we got some cigar money. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for tuning in. Even more importantly than the super chat. Moats. Which moats? For which stock? Which stock? I don't know which stock. Let's see here. Yeah. So there we are. Exciting day in the market. Last minute surprise. Listen, this is what makes this fun. The closing bell chart. You never know what's going to happen. This is like, this is better than, sports or whatever, live TV. You never know what's going to happen. The stock could have gone crazy, and then we had something completely unexpected happen, which is it pulled back, giving up all the gains from today. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Now it could, either we pull back to $1.35, $1.40 tomorrow. I would give that a 50% odds, or it kind of hangs around here. Maybe even goes back to $1.65 and consolidates from there. But it does need to consolidate. It does need to have a couple of days of consolidation. The beautiful thing about this chart is we have not seen these crazy gaps where something is going parabolic that's not sustainable. This is really a very, very solid, healthy chart. So if it pulls back here, it'll be actually quite good. As you can see, Every time in the past that it's gone up, it's always pulled back. I mean, it hasn't made crazy moves before, but yeah. So here, it went from 45 cents to 65 cents. That's a 50% move almost, and it pulled back to 52 cents. That's so it gave back 50% of the gain. Okay, it broke out from 53 cents to 89 cents. So what is that, 40 cents, let's call it? And it pulled back to 72 cents. So so it basically does every time it breaks out, it's got to pull back. We saw this happen over here. The first time it broke out from 79 cents, it pulled back to, gave up some gains, and then it made a new high again. I think what we're going to see is something very similar to what we saw in this part of the chart from December to January. I think this is what we're going to see in the next 2 weeks. So over the next 2 weeks, I think this is what's going to happen. We're going to probably pull back to like this $1.35, $1.45 couple days, consolidate a little bit, upward consolidation, and then break out to like $2.50, $3 range. And then we'll see what happens after that. After $3, $2.50, it's going to consolidate for probably 3-4 months before it can take out the $5 number. So, yeah, man. Sell the house, sell the wife, sell the kids. What is it, like that Apocalypse Now, right? That was the line. No, I'm not giving any advice. Don't sell it. No. This is, but yeah. I guess So bets. I said I'm waiting for word BLITF bets. I did have a conversation last week. I think it was last week. And I was told something is imminent. Imminent means a week or two. So, Doc, yeah, what's going on with Doc? I haven't looked at Doc in ages. Former Next Superstock. Wow. Okay. Somebody dumped 160,000 shares. Okay. Very possible. Listen, a lot of people have made money in this stock. You got to realize it. It's due. People want to sell. I mean, if somebody got into it 50 cents, imagine if somebody got into it here at 50 cents last month. I mean, this is a stock that tripled in a month, basically, right? Or, you may have had somebody got into it last year at 15 cents. So they've made a 10-bagger already. So they figure, okay, let's take some profits, which is, smart to do usually. However, with this thing, this is very unusual. A lot of times when we have a 10-bagger, a lot of times, almost 80% of the time, whenever we have a stock that goes up 10x, by the time it gets that 10x, either it's a little bit too early, either it gets way too ahead of itself, or by then it's already kind of like it's lost all the energy and the mojo. It's like everybody's in it, like everybody who could possibly buy it, everybody's drank the Kool-Aid, the whole cult has been built. This thing is the opposite, actually. VSB is like still very early stages. Nobody was talking about this stock till like a month ago. Not even a month, maybe 2 weeks. Like this wasn't even on anybody's radar 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, at 75 cents, 60 cents. Nobody was even looking at it. Now you got more people. I'm seeing on the CEOCA board, there's like 100 people, which is a lot of people now. And that goes to show you, if VSB has got 100 people in the chat on CEOCA, and by the way, for contrast, PKK has got like 90, and Peak is like a monster stock on that board. To me, that says this thing is still in the early stages. Again, this is not like CBDT was last year when it went parabolic to 250, and it didn't really have the fundamentals at that time to support that valuation. This thing does, and it's just really getting started. I mean, they haven't even put out all the news. So, yeah. We're not working with Tetra TBP MF at this time. I like the story, so I think long term, I think it'll do well. Again, it's a speculative biotech type of deal, but the fundamentals to me have not changed in that stock. So it's a risk reward bet. I mean, you're risking 10 cents to make potentially $2 or more. So yeah. Hey, apparently somebody was taking profits. So good for them. Good for them. I think this is going to what is it that they say on all these messages? Oh, thank you for the cheap shares, which I think is the stupidest thing to say. Like, thank you for the cheap shares. Usually those people get cheap shares that become cheaper. But in this case, I think we might see some little bit cheaper prices tomorrow, possibly. Again, it could go 50-50. We might see a pullback to $1.35, $1.40, or we're going to see people coming in here and taking it up. You can go either way, but ultimately, again, 250 is the target. Okay, let's wrap up here. Organic Garage, 44.5-cent close. I'm actually shocked that this thing is not 50 cents right now. Really shocked. What else is moving here? ESC, $1.15. Logic, keep an eye on this one. Again, it's kind of, I think it's in the process of bottoming out here. There might be a little bit room to go. It could be here. We'll know in a couple of days, basically, on this stock. But yeah, ultimately, I think that one's going to go to $14. Fans again, just hanging out, waiting for a catalyst. And VSB, we just covered. Let's see what else was exciting at the close. Skylight, yeah, nice shape. Needs to close above 425, 430. That's where it needs to close above this range, and then $5. And then it could be a $10 stock, which Sean Black thinks it's going to $10 minimum. So, all right. On that note, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will see you on the next live stream. Probably, definitely Thursday. We're going to have Organic Garage, 1 o'clock Eastern time. We might do a closing bell tomorrow. We'll see. All right.